Hi friends! Today I thought I would film a video about all of my journals. It was a video I wanted to film back in like March or April, but I held off because I thought it would be a little more fun once they were more full. They weren't that full in the spring, so I've had some time to work with them and fill them up a little bit, so I thought I would share them with you guys because I definitely think there is a correlation between tarot readers and journal keeping and fun pens and stuff. So I'll also talk about some of the pens I use with certain journals as well, because of course everyone wants to know. But heads up, there's a lot. There's a lot of journals here. So yeah, I like journaling. So we'll start. I don't know if we're gonna go in the order that I just placed them, but close enough. So with some of these, I'm definitely going to have to blur parts because, you know, there's like personal life stuff and photos of people that haven't given their permission to be on a YouTube channel. So that's what we're gonna do. So some of it will be blurred for you, which is fine because we like to keep things private sometimes. Sometimes I'm a very open book, but yeah, there's definitely things that should not be shown on a YouTube channel. So this journal is my like dear diary. Today, Cecilia made me angry. And I don't necessarily write in this journal every day. There's even been times where it's been like a break of a couple of months. So it's kind of just happenings that I want to get off my chest, things I want to write about, things I know that down the line I'm going to want to go back and read about. When my dad and my best friend passed away, I was journaling. It's in the one prior to this, not this one. And I was very, very specific about my journaling with like medication that they were receiving and stuff like that. And that journal has been a godsend for me going back and reading it. Yes, it is a little painful, but it was also, you know, if I couldn't remember what dose of medication they were receiving, I could go back and look that up. And also to have a record of my last days with my dad and my best friend is invaluable because, you know, over time, memories get kind of a little mixed up. You can't really remember what happened on what day. So I do, although it is painful, it is still nice to go back and read those days. And it did take me a few years to be able to get to that point where I could go back and read those. But now I'm really glad I have them. And that's when I was journaling it, I was like, this seems crazy that I'm writing down all this stuff, but I know one day I'm going to thank myself. And that day arrived. So here we have my Dear Diary journal. In here, I was putting photos from my little printer, which I will show. And it just wasn't the vibe. This is more of just like a write it down and get it out kind of journal. So I'll show you kind of what the situation is inside. So we're going to blur it. So I haven't filled out the first page, but yeah, it's a lot of writing, but you can see I've kind of got like photos in it, and this is a newer one. So yeah, lots of pictures and just lots of writing, but I didn't like it didn't feel like it was the vibe to put photos in here. So this year, new for 2025, I did create another journal specifically for that purpose, which we'll show at the very end because it's my very favorite. So this is my like Dear Diary journal. And one thing with this one, I definitely am very careful about what I write in it because I don't know about you guys, but I'm really paranoid about what happens to these when I die. People are going to find them. They're going to find your stuff. They're going to have to go through your stuff. And I don't want someone reading it. So I am PG when it, not in like the romantic sense, but like PG in what I write about. Like I might, if a situation is upsetting me, I might just like give it a Coles Notes version and not necessarily all the details, just enough to get it off my chest because I'm terrified that someone's going to read this. So that's journal number 1. Journal number 2. Okay, we will go in order that I showed them. So this is my tarot journal for 2025. So this is just a Midori. The other one was just, I bought it off Amazon. It wasn't a big deal. So this is a Midori, A5, I guess, A5. So it is a grid, square grid. I prefer a square grid or a dot grid over a lined notebook. So I was really happy to get my hands on this one. And this is all my tarot readings. So before we blur it, there's a couple things I can show you in here. So these are just washi tapes. There is a pen holder on this cover that I got off Amazon, but I never use it. This is the spare card that came in the Ancient Greek Tarot that obviously has a printing error, but I just love the backs so much with Medusa. So she hangs out in here, washi tape. I don't love the colors of these. They're so blah. And then here we have my 2025 monthly reading forecast that I did in January. So I pulled a Thoth card and a goddess card from Ethony's Modern Goddess, and then a chakra card from Feel Your Chakras. So August, we got the Fool, the Witch, and an underactive throat chakra. I talk, but I am shy. So it's been really nice to, like, in the beginning of the month, I definitely read these and I'm like, okay, this is what I have coming up for this month. But what I find more effective is at the end of the month doing a reflection and saying, okay, did I see where that happened? You know, could I see that as a reflection for that particular month? Love doing that. So this is definitely a practice I'm going to carry forward. So now I'm going to blur and we'll talk about the rest of it. So as far as decorating this goes, you can kind of, even though we're blurry, you can kind of get an idea of how I decorate it. And one thing I like to do is decorate it a couple spreads in advance so that after I'm done a reading, if I get to the bottom of a page and I flip it over, it's not blank and I'm not like panicking about, oh my God, I haven't decorated this spread. I can't write down my reading. I can't finish with my noting. Which I do like to do. So obviously you can see this one here. We can bring you back because there's nothing written on here. So I've obviously pre-decorated this spread for when we're done on the other page there, but it has come back to bite me because there was, I don't know if you remember a while back, I was using the Harry Potter tarot, the HP tarot deck, and I'd already decorated the spread, but I have Harry Potter stickers. I have Harry Potter stuff I can use. So I was a bit kind of like, oh, what a missed opportunity. But because I pre-decorate the spreads, it does alleviate some stress by pre-decorating the spreads, but I guess the trade-off is you kind of can't really get specific with a deck that you're using. Like even my Lord of the Rings tarot, I also have Lord of the Rings stickers, and I want to decorate that page with Lord of the Rings stickers when I use that deck. So I don't know, I got to figure out a method for that. But this is the 2025 tarot journal. I keep a list of my decks at the back and just some spare sticky notes. And I haven't decorated the back at all. So I've been a very bad tarot journaler in 2025. That's literally all there is. I definitely do readings. I just get lazy and don't write them down. Oh, pens. What pens do I use with that notebook? So the first notebook, I kind of, it's whatever I'm feeling. That's why I didn't really talk about pens for the first notebook, because it's whatever I feel like. But that Midori with my tarot journaling, I use all my fountain pens in that journal. So these, I just have the 4 of them. These are the ones I use. These are both the Lamy. Oh no. I've messed up my focusing by blurring, so hopefully that's not a problem. But the Lamy, I have the red and the purple. Love the purple. I think nope, there's quite a bit in the purple one. Because I have new ink coming in this month. So, but the red one's empty, so it's good to go. Then I have the TWSBI Eco. This is probably my favorite one. I love it so much. It has a brown ink in it right now. I want to get rid of that ink because the ink that I have coming in this month is sparkly, so I want to be able to fill that with the sparkly ink. And then this is just like an Amazon one I bought. It stays on the nightstand and it just has a black ink cartridge inside of it. Really handy. just stays on the nightstand, so I always have a fountain pen near me. So those are the pens I use with that journal. Next journal, we have my bullet journal. This is new for 2025. I've never bullet journaled before, but I was gifted this journal for Christmas. It was like a stocking gift. It's from Dollarama, not the best quality, and you're gonna see. But I thought I would give it a go. I thought I would give it a try for 2025, and it's super fun. So I'm gonna show you this whole thing because no shame. So the first page is, it doesn't like sit flush. Like, I don't know. It's annoying. So I just put my name on it. And then this one sits flush, and we have a vision board for 2025. So I just threw a mishmash of stuff in there, things that I'm like looking forward to, things I want to do, pretty things. There's lots of crystals in here. There's some sunscreen. There's washi tape because I've been journaling a lot. Coffee and Kindle, books, tarot cards, the rodeo, which I sadly won't be making it to. Year of the Snake over here. The universe is working in my favor in my inner peace era. And oh, this is hilarious because I just put that in there because I'm Aquarius, and I ended up getting the Aquarius constellation tattoo this year, which was not planned. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, just a little vision board for 2025 to kick us off. The next spread is a bookshelf. This idea I got from TikTok, and I love it. I think it's super cute. I just wish I thought through my highlighter colors some more before actually committing. So the colors that I use here that I really enjoy are these guys here. So obviously not like the orange and the hot orange and hot yellow, but all the other colors are these guys here. This is the Mildliner neutral set. I was looking for the colors. The double-ended soft mild color. Love it. Love these guys. So I use these in another planner, which will come up later. So that's kind of the color that we see, I think, starting like here is when I started to use those. Obviously, I have yet to color these in. These were ones that I had written in all at once, and then I had to wait for the ink to dry before coloring. And I obviously never got around to doing it. But I love my little bookshelf with my plants. You can see here, that's where it bled through from the other side, and I tried to white it out. And I'll probably have to make another one of these spreads before the end of the year because we are only in August, and I'm definitely going to read more than that for the rest of the year. Next spread, this was another idea I got from TikTok. They used it with TikTok content. This one was my idea, but this one, it just tracks your followers. So once I hit 1,000 followers in February, I thought it would be super cute to just keep track. So I go in increments of 10 until I can no longer math, apparently, and goof, and then continued on increments of 10. I do purposely kind of hold off on coloring in about 20 of them because with YouTube, with any kind of social media, your followers kind of ebb and flow. You gain some, you lose some, you gain some, you lose some. So I don't like to over celebrate. So I purposely kind of keep that one a little bit behind. And then the content tracker is just, I thought I would color in days that I posted videos. I don't have my YouTube shorts on here, but when I made this, I wasn't making YouTube shorts. So I don't know, maybe I'll go in and give them a different color. Maybe like an orange. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't decided. This one is not quite up to date. I still have to put in, I think, one video from August. I also don't like the layout that I chose here with the months going this way and then the lines. I just don't like it. I feel like it's hard to understand what's happening and what month you're looking at and what you're looking at all. But anyway, that is something I do like doing. I'll probably carry it over next year just in a different layout. So I did a self-care bingo. As you can see, I reached my full bingo. Yes, I know I still have a blank space. I thought I would kind of leave some blank and add things as I thought of them. But I have my first bingo, but I think the goal is the whole card. So there's that. And here. So I did not start using this journal until March. That's why January and February are blanked out in some of them. But here's where I learned I don't like to track things daily. I am not a daily tracker. And I don't think that should come as a surprise because I don't like doing anything daily with tarot reading or anything. So yeah, here I learned I don't like daily tracking. Same with the weather tracker. Don't like it. I really, really despise the weather tracker. This was supposed to be like a savings graph, and I accidentally, I don't know what happened here. So I obviously abandoned that one. Then we have my alcohol tracker, which is up to date. I do use this one. This is probably one of my favorite ones from the book. There's this, there's the bookshelf. I can't remember, but I enjoy this one. This has just been for my own personal information. So green boxes are 1 drink, yellow boxes are 2 drinks, and anything orange is 3 or more. So I know a lot of the oranges are 3. There's a couple, like this was a long weekend, that's definitely more than 3 because it was basically like, you know, you wake up, you have a coffee and Bailey's, an hour or 2 later, then you have a Caesar, and then you're basically drinking off and on for the rest of the day. So those ones are definitely more than 3. But the main reason I wanted to do this is because if you go to the doctor and they're like, how much alcohol would you say you drink? I honestly have no idea. So I thought this would be really cool to keep track of. No fast food. So I kind of struggled with whether I wanted this calendar or this tracker to be fast food or no fast food. You can see the pen is totally different. And then as you can see, I totally abandoned because I got in my head about what was considered to be fast food. Like, is ordering a coffee fast food? Is ordering a bagel fast food? So I really started to overthink it, and then I couldn't decide, so I abandoned it. Same with the no spend days. So I got in my head about this one because I was like, well, what happens if you have an automatic bill payment that comes out? That's money coming out of your account. That's not technically a no spend day, even though I didn't go out shopping. I didn't go out and buy something, but I still had money come out of my account. So I got in my head about this one. I have a lot of automatic bills, like all my streaming services, parking. I have so many, insurance, car payments. So yeah, I abandoned that one. This looks abandoned, my exercise tracker. I assure you it's not. Oh, I was going to say this is up to date, but no, I forgot to put in my trail run somewhere in here for August. So one more. Yeah, like I said, it looks like it's behind, and it's not. That is the total number of days I exercised in 2025. Let's just change that. So I don't know what happened here. My brain stopped working and I accidentally left that page blank. And then again, I was doing a daily tarot tracking and decided I don't like daily tracking. So we gave up. We didn't even make it a whole month with tracking daily tarot pulls. And then that's it. That's all we have for this book. So this one is a dot lined, which I do enjoy. I enjoy a dot line, a dot grid. But like I said, it does bleed. So it's from Dollarama. It's not the best. So I do love my vision board though. I love the color. I just love how it looks. So pretty. So that is my bullet journal and pens I use. I mean, it doesn't matter because everything bleeds anyway. Try to use a ballpoint whenever possible. And if I'm not using a ballpoint, I will use the Energel 0.3 needle tip 0.3. This is a favorite of mine. I use it a lot, especially for smaller spaces. And it does not bleed because it is so fine. So this is a favorite for sure. Gets used in my personal life. It gets used at work. I just love it so much. The other ones I love using are the Sharpie S gels. I can't use these in that bullet journal. They bleed. So I like the 0.5 and the 0.7 in the Sharpie S gels. Next, we have my Tarot Tube journal. So this is a Chic Sparrow leather traveler's notebook. I get them on clearance. I don't even think they do clearance anymore. I'm not buying Chic Sparrow anymore because they are so expensive. And that's why I only own clearance colors, because back in the day, that's what I would buy, were the ones that were on clearance. So I couldn't tell you which notebook this is. I have no memory. Cascade kind of sounds familiar, but I don't know. So we just have a picture of Bon Echo here. That was it was kind of an accidental reprint. We'll talk about that. This is my current YouTube notebook, and this one is blank, so I think this will become my YouTube notebook when that one's full. Love this. It's so pretty. The paper blanks. It's lined. I don't love lined. I prefer square dot grid, which is why I haven't used it. And then this is the tarot journal that I first started, or sorry, YouTube journal that I first started with that is full. So what I mean by YouTube journal is I will go through as the month is going, and here, I'll show you. Not that this needs to be blurred because I talk about all of this stuff, but I write down everything that's happening in the month as it happens, so that when it comes time to film my monthly wrap-ups, I'm not racking my brain trying to think about what I did that month and what I want to talk about, what I bought, where I went, what decks I used. It's kind of all right here in this notebook. So that's been really handy, not only for YouTube, but for my personal life. Like, there's been times where I'm like, oh, what month did I do that in? What month did that happen? And you'd think that the old Dear Diary journal would be good for that, which it is, but there's just so much more writing. These are more point form. So it's easier to find, and there's less to filter through, less to have to go through. So I do use that 0.3 fine, that needle tip, because this paper, I just got these notebooks off of some girl on Etsy, a local seller, but they bleed really bad. So I do have to use the fine tip on these notebooks. Sucks, because I would love to use my fountain pens in here, but can't do it. So that's my tarot tube organizer / journal. Next, we have my Magic of Eye planner. I've talked about this planner a lot, but I figured I would just kind of go through and show it a little bit and talk about this planner because I do use it. So this, however, I don't use it as a planner. I really only use it for looking at the astrological happenings on any particular day. I kind of started using it as a journal, but it just, I don't know. It seemed like overkill. I was using it as a gratitude journal, and I was writing gratitudes in it. And I don't know, which I do like that, but I don't know. I have so many journals, and this one I really just use as reference, and I'm fine with that. I would love one for 2026, but I don't know what's happening with stuff coming into Canada. I think it might cost me an arm and a leg, so I don't know. So here's our bird's eye view. I started doing 1-card pulls. This space is just so tiny that it's too small. What happens if more than 1 card comes out? What happens if I want to do a 3-card spread that day? You can't write them in there. So then I switched to runes and gave up, as you can see, which I kind of would like to get back into that. So that could be a way I use this. But I do really like this planner for these pages that talk about the lore behind the constellations, the astrology, all that kind of jazz. So it gives you the new and full moon dates, where the sun is, what sign the sun is, the monthly themes. So let's check out, since we are in August, let's check out August. So monthly themes for August are courage, creativity, and fun. Then it gives a full moon affirmation and a new moon affirmation, which I really love in case I'm struggling to come up with something on my own for those. Really love that. The other thing, okay, so we have 2 ribbons, which I love. The one ribbon I keep in the astrological reference guide for the symbols and what they mean, because some of them I forget. Sometimes my brain just stops working, especially with the aspect symbols. Some stuff my brain just doesn't retain. Things I've done in here as a little added extra something something. I got this pack of like magnifying glass things, so I keep some in my purse and my wallet, but I also keep one in this planner because she's tiny. This little planner is so small that some of that writing is insanely tiny. So I got some of these little magnifying glasses. I also created a table of contents on like a little sticker using this printer here, the Fomemo printer. This comes in so handy. I use it in a bunch of journals and in my like work life, like making labels and stuff like that. So that's where I printed this little table of contents. And like I said, it's been really helpful because there's a lot of information in the beginning of this notebook. Like it only goes up to page 62, and that's all the things that we have listed on the table of contents. So really glad I did that. The other thing I did was I went through and highlighted the days of the week. I feel like it just kind of levels up the planner a little bit. It just kind of gives it a little bit of an aesthetic oomph. We'll talk about, so the monthlies I've kind of decorated ever so slightly with iridescent stickers. But I wanted to keep decorating to a minimum in this notebook because I don't want it to get too fat, and I just kind of want it to have a minimalist look to it. Oh, I love the green highlighters. So these highlighters are these colors, and it's that green in there. It's like made for it. Absolutely made for it. I am grateful for work from home days. Those might be changing. So yeah, you can see I've got some little decor, little embellishments happening, but nothing crazy. And I love that. So yeah, this planner I really only use for the astrology stuff. So I can use my, Heavenly Bodies astrology deck. I've talked about how I work with that in this planner. And that's kind of what I do here. So I have a bookmark because I've used my ribbons. The bookmark stays in the monthly page, and the second ribbon stays in my current week. So today is Monday, we're moving her over. So that's my Magic of I planner. Like I said, I would love one for 2026, and I would still get the A6, the small guy, because like I said, I don't even really use it as a planner. So there's no point in getting the big one. And I just use it for the astrological references, but we'll see what happens in 2026. Let's cross our fingers. So my favorite and the last one here is my Hobonichi Day Free Techo A6. So it's a small guy. This is my first Hobonichi ever. And again, like I said, I started this in December of 2024 because this planner actually starts in December. So I've adorned it with some stickers. These are all free stickers. I was having commitment issues, so I just put on stickers that I got for free. And I ordered a cover for it off Amazon. The regular clear one was sold out, so I had to get these holographic stars, which I didn't like, but they have since grown on me, and I bought matching tabs off Amazon. So I love it so much. So this one we are definitely going to have to blur at some point, but I'll show you what we have going on for what I can show. So I just kind of stuck a little envelope in there to keep a plethora of random leftover stickers in here. I decorated this page for 2025. That's a washi tape sticker. So from Etsy, I bought these stickers to go in here. I talked about those in one of my monthly wrap-ups. I just thought it just kind of makes it look a little prettier, a little less industrial looking. Same with these across the top and the days down the side. If I get a blank one, it's easier to see. Here we go. So as you can see, I haven't filled in August yet, but this would be a good tarot card tracker. It's just, this journal isn't for tarot tracking whatsoever. So it's not the vibe of it. So I was just inputting vacation days. I've highlighted weekends so that they stand out a little more, but I don't really use these pages. Like I write stuff in it, but I don't really use these pages. So it's unfortunate. Then we go into our monthlies, which I love decorating. I love it so much. It's something I look forward to at the beginning of each month, but I never really reference these ever. So I don't know. it kind of helps. We'll talk about it later in the video, but yeah. So one of my tabs is the monthlies. The other tab is these guys, which I haven't even moved this tab over to August yet, and we're more than halfway through. Yeah, we're more than halfway through. So as you can see, I don't even use them. I've set up September's a little bit. So I do enjoy decorating them. It's just after I write everything in there, I don't really look at it anymore. So the pens I use for these pages anyway, are these Pilot erasable pens. These are fantastic. I don't think this is all of them. I just kind of grabbed a handful as I walked by my container. Frixion Fine Liner erasable. These are a fantastic purchase. I love these so much. So this is the eraser right here, and they work fantastic even on this paper. So I did have something written here and then I erased it, but we'll use black because it's the darkest so you can see. So we just wrote a little black heart there, and give it a second to dry. I can still see that it's wet. All right. So with our little, it doesn't even feel like an eraser. It's super weird. It is kind of a fine line. Like the edge of it is a fine line. So it takes a minute to get it all, but it gets it all. You can't even see that anymore. So when I'm doing my monthly pages, I use these pens because I never know, like sometimes plans change, sometimes plans get canceled, you know, things get moved around. So I love using these pens for that exact situation in this particular planner. Not, like I said, not that I actually reference these pages, but it has come in really handy. So the reason I bought this planner was because like I said, I wanted to print photos to have memories, and not only photos, but I also like to keep memorabilia. So like stickers and things that come in the mail, whatever, a mishmash of stuff. And this whole section of this planner is, well, not that section. I think that's where it starts to be like other things like address book and stuff. So this section is all a square grid notebook, and that's freaking huge. Like, that's insane. So I have been using this as a visual journal. This is where I'm gonna have to blur you a little bit. For some reason, when I mentally planned this, it was 1 month per spread. So this would be one whole month, as it is in December. And then the next page would be January. But then I was like, you idiot, that's 12 pages and you have all of this to go. So I did eventually get smarter, but when I first started, I don't know why my brain went with 1 month per spread. So December is really crammed. We have a lot going on. Could have definitely been more than one spread. As we know, a lot happens in December. So not entirely sure what I was thinking there. January, it also could have been more than one spread, but I love putting these little tip outs in. I need to get smarter with making my monthly titles bigger. And I think in 2026, what I might do is put like January on one whole page, decorate it or not, and then you turn the page and then you're into January because it needs to be more noticeable. February is pretty basic. Not a lot happened in February. I basically had to decorate this whole page with washi stickers because not a whole lot happened. March, so I kind of got a little smarter with my label here being a little more noticeable, but whatever. So this is from a package I got in the mail. This is a photo of a sticker that I got with the Ancient Greek Tarot. I could have put the whole sticker there, but I have commitment issues, so I took a picture of the sticker and stuck the picture of the sticker. So this is from a shopping bag. This is my sister's race that she did. We were obsessed with stalking her while she was on this run. It was multi-day. It was an ultra marathon. It was like over 3 days. She did 251 miles total. So I stole some of the professional photos from their Facebook page and printed them out. These are stickers from a package I got in the mail that were oddly like Arizona themed. The run was in Arizona, and this package came from somewhere in Canada. So it was super weird that she had Arizona stickers on the package. So of course I put them in there, but this is, she won't mind me talking about her, but this is the race that we followed. So I took a screenshot of how we followed her, and I would refresh this like every half hour to follow her. She was number 189. So I made these little 189 stickers because I honestly dreamt about them. We were stalking her so hard. But yeah, she did 251 miles. She did so freaking good. So like I said, I got smart and dedicated a whole page to something other than just 1 month. Then we get into April, again with our tiny title. You probably can't even read it. So just some random memorabilia. We've got a Chinese food fortune cookie slip in there. This is from an envelope. This is a quote from my postcard club. So this one, I do have a sticker that I wrote kind of like a breakdown. I don't typically do that, although I think the next month makes a liar out of me. Nope, then the month after. Just because the whole idea is when you see these things, you have a visual reminder of what you did that month, and then you don't need the physical writing journal. Here we have my grandma's 98th birthday. Again, small monthly title. So we're at May. Still May. So we've got some memorabilia. We've got lots of stuff going on in here. I did write a little bit in this one, and I think that's the last time I did that. This is a girls' weekend. We did masks that were hilarious. I know the only reason I'm saying it is because you can probably see that our faces look weird. It's because we have masks on and we were killing ourselves laughing. So again, I dedicated a whole spread to just one weekend, getting smarter. Still not overly smart with the monthly titles. Then I dedicated a whole several pages to my Alberta trip in June. These were so fun to put together and lay out, and I really looked forward to doing this. Still a little incomplete. There's still a couple things I'm pondering on. Yeah, lots of pages. Oh, we're missing one. Lots of pages dedicated to the trip. It ends here. So this was kind of, I had some spare stickers left over from the trip, and I wanted this quote from June from my postcard club. So this is kind of doesn't necessarily have any memory photos in it, but then we get into July. And as you can see, I did get smarter for July with the larger monthly thing. So random summer stuff, birthday party. Then we have my tattoo and tarot event and my Bancroft Gem and Mineral Show in the Mineral Museum. And then we are at the current month, which I typically leave. So this is August. Again, I got stupid. There's the small August title. I generally leave decorating to the end of the month because I want to have the layout right. I want to make sure I know how I want everything to go and what's on what page. But this month I knew that I wanted cornhole to be one page and then the fireworks to be another page. But I have to show you this. So the printer that I use prints on this sticky back paper. It is the HP Sprocket, which I'll show you. But so I printed off a picture of the fireworks and then added gold speckle stickers from one of my sticker books. Now it's making an idiot out of me. It looks better in person, I swear. You don't really, you see the gold shimmer and not the whole blob of the sticker. You don't really see that in person, but you see the gold specks, which aren't even showing up on camera. So stupid. I'm so proud of myself. So the printer I use for this book is the HP Sprocket, and I have an old version, so it's kind of messing up with the image. So I'll show you. This is the one I have a duplicate of that I showed you in the beginning. The color is all wrong in this photo, and I printed it twice because I thought maybe it messed up the first time. Nope, that's how it came out twice. It came out a little better on this one and then the first one, but so I think I'm going to ask for a new one for Christmas, the updated version. And this is just paraphernalia to put in for the rest of August. This is the rest of August's happenings. So it's all stuff that I have to organize on the next couple pages. But so I'll get you to a page where there's no faces except my own, so I can bring you in so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like when it's not blurry. So yeah, this is what I get up to, and I am going to show you. Oh my gosh, this killed me. So I took that photo from the Bancroft Gem and Mineral Show's Facebook page. They snagged this stealthy photo of me in line. Isn't she a stunner? How mortifying that that's on Facebook for everyone to see, but I had to print it and put it in here because it is pretty funny. So this is kind of what it looks like, and this was kind of where I decided, I think next time I get one of these, I might get the A5, so I do have a little more room, because when it is busy, it's really crammed. And yes, I could say like, well, then just use a spread, the Bancroft Gem and Mineral Show and Mineral Museum could have been a whole spread. However, this was on this page. So, and if we're going chronologically, this happened and then this happened. So then the rest of the Gem and Mineral Show would be on this page. And I don't like that. It would have to be a cohesive looking, it's all in the same kind of spread in the same space. You're not turning a page for the same event. So yeah, I think the next time I do this, I'm going to get the A6, but I also am pretty sure the format changes for the A6. So I don't know if you have all of these kind of pages with the A6. I don't know. So what do we have there? I don't know what that is. Oh, spa that I didn't use. So the other thing is, look how much I have left. I mean, some of that is like weird stuff at the back, miscellaneous things I'm not going to use, but I have this much left, and it's August, so I'm not going to fill up these pages in the last 4 months of 2025. So what I've decided I'm going to do is continue to use this planner into 2026. And like I said, these months I don't really use these ones, although I will miss decorating it. I know that I will. I don't really use them. So we're gonna make this a 2025-2026 planner for not planner, but just memory keeping. So that's that. Look how chunky she's getting. I can't wait for her to get like super, super chunky and really fill out this plastic notebook, because it's kind of loose right now. It's a little, like you can see. So once she gets real chunky, it'll fill it right out. I love how that looks. So yeah, this is my little visual journal. And part of the reason I did this was, like I said, because I didn't like putting photos inside my like Dear Diary journal. The other part is I have so many of these, so many. I even have duplicates of some, which were intentional, because I love some of them so much I bought duplicates, but I need to use these. Same with my washi tapes. I need to use them up. So the Happy Planner, these sticker books, I should have counted them for the video because I have so many. So I am making my way through these. I'm not even really causing a dent probably, but it does feel good to use them, and as well as my washi tapes. So yeah, it's good to start a hobby that you pay money on to get rid of things that you spent money on. Girl math. But those are all my planners, and I just thought, like I said, I would talk about them because I do think that a lot of us, not we all, we're not gonna put everyone in here, but I do think that a lot of us like to journal, and we like to use our pens, and we like to do crafty, fun, journal-esque things. So that's my video on all my journals, and I hope it kept you interested, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you when I see you.